As you know, we've already got the vehicle prepped with the washing and claying process. It's vitally important that we pay special attention to the vehicle's paint and the paint correction process. So I've placed the polisher onto the vehicle's paint. I'm just going to do a small shoulder to shoulder area. Let's see what kind of result we're going to get. So what I've done is I've done a small test area, and that's exactly what you want to do before you do the entire vehicle. I want to be sure that I'm getting the result that I'm looking for in the paint correction process. I'm going to remove my polish. I'm going to check out the finish that I've got. And wow, it's beautiful. And we're ready to go to the next step. Next, we're going to use the Ceramic Pro Cleaner. This is an important step because we want to remove all of the oils and silicones and fillers that were left behind from the prior polishing process. Now, there's two ways to apply the cleaner. One is to spray it directly on the surface of the paint, and the other is to spray it directly on the microfiber towel. My choice and my preference is to wet the towel and give myself a nice damp surface, being very generous with the cleaner, setting the microfiber towel down on the surface of the paint, and in a snake-like motion, I'm going to pull the towel back and forth, light pressure, very light pressure, flip the towel over, remove any excess residue. What I've done is I've stripped all the silicones, the oils, and the fillers off of the paint from the prior polishing process. Next step, we want to seal the paint, and for that process, we're going to use Nano Seal. This is a water-based, wax-free, silicone-free product that's going to help the adhesion of the Ceramic Pro 9H bond to the surface of the paint. I'll be using my white foam applicator pad. I want to make sure I get this thing nice and centered. Give it a little spin, make sure I'm good. There you go. I'm going to be between 800 and 1,000 orbits per minute. Shake the product up well. Just takes a few drops. Not very much of this product is needed. You'll see it goes an awful long way. I'm going to lay the pad directly on the surface of the vehicle, keep the cord over my shoulder, jewel it in, and here we go. You guys, this is one of the most amazing products I've ever seen. One of the nicest things about what this does is it actually will go in and fill the scratches. It gives it a lot of depth and a lot of gloss. As you can see, the product is dissipating and I'm getting a nice high shine. I want to go until the product's completely gone off the surface of the paint. I'm going to take a fresh green microfiber towel, lightly go over the surface, remove any little bit of excess residue. Once I've applied the Nano Seal to the entire painted surface, I'm going to give it about 90 minutes of good curing time so I have a nice bond when I apply the Ceramic Pro 9H. This is the actual paint coating itself. Ceramic Pro 9H is a liquid glass coating that's going to offer us a superior bond and a beautiful level of protection most cars never see. Now we're going to start the application process of Ceramic Pro 9H, and yes, I brought a rubber. I want to make sure that I don't get the product all over my skin. Couple hot tips that I want to bring to your attention before we get started. Some of the things that you have to realize is there is flash times involved in this product application. Once you apply it to the surface of the paint, it'll start to flash, or another good term, it will start to cure on you. Depending on different climates that you guys live in, this will flash at different times. Now we're going to start the application process. I'm going to take my applicator pad, I'm going to take Ceramic Pro 9H, apply a generous amount of the Ceramic Pro 9H onto the pad. I'm going to talk a little bit about climates, flash points, and flash times. I'm going to do a very small section of the hood here. Apply it side to side and front to rear. What I'm going to do now, depending on where you live, depending on your climates, humidity, heat, doors opening, windows, you have to watch your flash point. Here in my shop in Huntington Beach, California, we're at about a minute and a half, so I'm going to go ahead and start my clock. And what I'm looking for is I'm looking for my flash and my curing times to work for me. I'm going to pay direct attention to what's happening on the surface here with the product starting to go off on me. I'm going to go ahead and apply to section number 2 while this section is actually starting to flash. What I'm going to see and what I'm looking for is a rainbow effect. I want to try to start finding my high spots. As you can see on my little stopwatch here, we're at about 1.5 minutes. I've got a very nice even layer of coating in 2 sections. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start the leveling process. Just kind of drag my microfiber towel on both sides, both sections. Get a nice even layer of product, very lightly dragging the microfiber, almost just barely enough pressure to pull the towel over the surface, and I've got a nice even coat. It's laying down very nicely. I'm going to go ahead and hit it one more time. Again, very lightly. I do not want to remove the product, just level it out. I've got the Ceramic Pro coating laid down nicely over the surface of this section. I have 2 sections that I'm working with right now. Looks like my flash is about perfect. I do have a couple high spots. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my microfiber towel. I'm going to lightly go in a circular motion, very lightly, level out my high spots. And I want to be sure that I'm overlapping the areas of responsibility that I've applied the product on. And I want to pay special attentions to the seams to make sure I don't have any excess product in the edges. It's been a couple minutes. I don't want to mess with it anymore. I've got the perfect finish. I've done this section of the hood so far. I've got a beautiful coating of Ceramic Pro 9H. It's been about 2.5, almost 3 minutes. I definitely don't want to touch it again. If you start to let the product cure and it starts to go off on you, and you take a microfiber towel over after the curing process starts, you take a real big chance and a real big risk of streaking and hazing up the product. We're all finished getting the Ceramic Pro on the entire paint of this beautiful vehicle. One of the coolest things about Ceramic Pro 9H is it's a product that can actually be layered on top of each other. Obviously, with multiple layers, you're looking at a lot more protection. Definitely a great time to use it as an upsell. When applying multiple layers of Ceramic Pro 9H, you have to wait between 20 and 40 minutes, but that depends on where you live and the climate you live in. If you apply too soon, you're going to remove the first layer that you applied. If you apply too late, you're not going to get the bond on the second or third layer that you're trying to apply. Ceramic Pro 9H is full of surprises, you guys. You can be applied to all kinds of hard surfaces on the vehicle, to include the headlamps, the chrome and metal, and the plastic trim. So let's get started. Let's get these surfaces coated. Let's not make this too complicated, you guys. We've all been looking for that perfect coating for headlamps. Ceramic Pro 9H is the perfect product. Let's get started. Shaking the product up. Got my applicator pad. Generous amount of Ceramic Pro 9H onto my applicator pad, and real quick and easy. Put a nice layer of Ceramic Pro 9H. Let's let it level out. Okay, we've just applied the product, Ceramic Pro 9H, onto the headlamp. Now what I want to do is really quickly remove it off the painted surface, which has been prior coated. I'm going to take my microfiber towel. I'm going to do a leveling process. Give it a couple seconds. I'm looking for some high spots. Wow, it sure did add a lot of clarity. Let's go ahead and do my final wipe, nice and light. No pressure at all. Give it another minute here. One more final wipe. Look at that beautiful lens. Looks like brand new. By adding Ceramic Pro 9H, we're going to add a level of protection that are going to keep these rims looking great for years to come. Just like we did the rest of the painted surface, we're going to shake up our Ceramic Pro 9H, take our applicator towel, and as you can see, I'm going to apply a generous amount. And we're going to apply the Ceramic Pro 9H over the entire wheel rim, hitting all the interior spokes first. I want 100% coverage on these wheel rims. Now I've completely coated the rim with Ceramic Pro 9H. I've let it set for about a minute. I'm going to go ahead and start my wiping process. Again, I'm using a very, very light touch. I'm leveling out the product. I'm not going to hit it more than once. Another cool point you need to pay attention to, we could jack the car up, pop the lug nuts, pull the wheel off, and we can protect our brake calipers against all kinds of corrosion, grime, and road tar. We seem to always be battling the exterior plastic trim on most of our vehicles today. The sun, the UV rays seem to fade it out pretty bad. One of the coolest things about Ceramic Pro 9H, let's bring it back to life. I'm going to apply a generous amount of Ceramic Pro 9H to the microfiber towel. Let's go ahead and start applying it to the plastic. And oh my God, I don't know if you guys can see this. One of the nice things about the plastic trim is we don't necessarily have to remove every bit of the product. It's actually penetrating and soaking into the pores of the plastic, removing all the oxidation and bringing the black back. It's going to look really cool. Okay, we've just applied the Ceramic Pro 9H to all the plastic trim. Again, what we want to do is get it off the painted surface that's already been pre-coated. I hope you can see the difference between the two sides. Ceramic Pro, what an amazing product for the plastic trim on our cars. Now we're going to apply Ceramic Pro 9H onto the chrome metal grille. As you can see, I've got my microfiber towel. I'm no longer using a sponge back. I want to use this microfiber towel to get in all the tight areas. I applied a generous amount of Ceramic Pro 9H to my applicator towel. I'm going to coat each fin nice and easy. Of course, all these fins were polished and cleaned like we did the rest of the paint. Okay, we've applied the Ceramic Pro 9H onto the chrome metal grille. Now what I'm going to do real quickly, I'm going to remove the excess off the painted surface. It's already been applied and completely coated, so I don't need another layer there. Take my microfiber towel, very lightly, extremely light pressure. Just level out my product. Got a beautiful high shine chrome finish right now. I'm going to let it haze just a little bit more. I'm going to take my microfiber towel. Going to go ahead and hit it one more time. Nice and easy. Wow. Hope you guys can see this from the camera. We've got a beautiful polished chrome finish. As you guys all know, chrome plating is very thin on most of the vehicles today. It can get damaged relatively quick. One of the coolest things about adding Ceramic Pro 9H as the coating, it protects against rust, salt air, oxidation, all kinds of damages that are normally very difficult to protect against. Ceramic Pro 9H, an amazing product for chrome and metal. Another great addition to the Ceramic Pro line of products, Ceramic Pro Lite. Now this is a great standalone product all by itself, offering up to 24 months of protection. But today what we're going to do, we're going to use this as a top coat to the current application of Ceramic Pro 9H we've put on this vehicle. It's going to offer us a lot of depth, a lot of shine, and a lot of gloss. I'm excited to see what it looks like. I've shaken the product up, no different than applying Ceramic Pro 9H. Ceramic Pro Lite is applied about the exact same way. I'm going to apply a generous amount to the pad. Make sure we've got plenty of product on my pad. Applying it straight to the painted surface in the same small area I did with the Ceramic Pro 9H. Back and forth, up and down. Now I've had to wait a minimum of 30 minutes before applying the top coat of Ceramic Pro Lite. I can wait up to 12 hours if I want to. It's a great top coat, and like I said, it's going to be a great finish. Now, different from Ceramic Pro 9H, I don't want to waste any time, and I want to start knocking down my high spots right away. Take my microfiber towel, nice easy motion over the surface of the paint. Flip my towel. Got no high spots. I'm going to hit it one more time and get the perfect finish I'm looking for. Wow. We just definitely added a lot of gloss and depth. A couple things I want to bring to your attention. With Ceramic Pro Lite, it's cured to the touch after about 2 hours. But be sure to let it cure for up to 24 hours before you let it get wet.